Hello. It's been a while. I haven't been active as of late because of these two things. It's kind of hard to record audio with this stuff happening. Well, anyway, the last video got me thinking about traits and how bad the quote-unquote bad traits can be. I'm sure a couple of you here have seen Ambiguous Amphibian's Cataclysm Challenge, but what exactly is that derived from? I delved into it for a while, and after staring at the character creation screen for a couple of hours, I came up with these two monstrosities. Visually, it doesn't look too bad, but trust me, everything compounds into one huge cluster truck. A ton of these traits synergize so badly that it feels like you're playing as a wet piece of paper. A slight breeze or poke from anything and you're dead. Even if something looks at you funny, you're probably dead. You just don't know it yet, unfortunately. And even still, the RNG needed to play either of these two characters like this pretty much requires you to cheat. Just look at it. Honestly, tell me if you have the patience to try and actually play a character like this. Though this will be rather short, I just thought I would share my experience, so you don't have to suffer like I did. Seriously, this wasn't fun. I don't recommend anybody play the game like this ever. My curiosity was piqued and sated, and I'm probably never doing anything like this ever again. I ended up picking this guy because I'd figure having the bionics, even if I can't install more right off the bat, would be worth the trouble with where the terrible character and player spawns are. Meet Lacey. Lacey is basically the equivalent to Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. They're from a wealthy family who right before the cataclysm went full swing into spending all their money to try and get help for everything that was wrong with them. Unfortunately, all too late for it to actually be helpful. He's really stupid. They're addicted to practically every substance on Earth. They always have an empty stomach and hate to eat practically everything. Way too rigid and stuck up with their thinking. They have mental disorders out the wazoo. They sleep like a hibernating bear, smelly, ugly, and slow. An ungodly amount of medical problems, along with being extremely unlucky. Probably the reason why they ended up this bad in the first place. A couple of times I got spawned on the roof and entirely used that to my advantage. I went to the sides of the hospital and lured all the zombies away from the sightlines. Then made a beeline to the other side and jumped down, resulting in some bad damage, but luckily the building was on the edge of the city, so I made a safe escape. Unfortunately, this is where it all goes downhill from here. Let's just watch my suffering as I struggle with a futile attempt to survive as the adrenaline subsides and addiction withdrawal causes severe depression and sleeplessness. I spot an open pit only for it to be filled with rocks. I eye up a radio tower. There will be some feeble attempts to break into it later. Next, I see a car with some tools, and a shack would do for some meager shelter. Pushing all the tools across the ground, I take stock of my loot. However, I'm unable to do anything with it due to poor morale and stat reductions. With the energy I have, I plan to search the forest for anything to craft or eat. Little did I know it's wasted effort as I turn my nose up at anything I find. I start eventually collapsing while scavenging due to withdrawals, signifying the ever-looming torture this run holds. Then, feeling the delirium of phantom pains, the first figment of the imagination springs to life as a mass of writhing spiders. All I can do is hope it isn't real and keep moving forward. The insane machinations of the mind oppressive as it ebbs on the corner of the eyes as I tell myself it isn't real. I bring a single stick home, with hopes it might yield warmth or occupation with whittling, all the while kneeling over in delirious pain. Skimming through my crafting menu to no avail, my character is just too depressed. As thirst sets in, I don't have to worry about eating at least for a while due to my weight, but I force down some dirty water as it makes me sick and nauseous. I decide to check my health after feeling something was wrong, unfortunately. I got a couple of parasites. There's nothing I can do but deal with it. I try to sleep, only to be met with burns as the sun seeps through the cracks in the boarded windows. After a long, restless nap, I go to get a drink of water, but seeing a reflection of myself as an imagination of what has happened to me right now, currently falling apart. I continue to see the reflection almost as if it's mocking me. In a rage, I take a swing at it with my umbrella. It grins at me as it evaporates into smoke. I sleep, then thirst keeps me awake. I feel terrible. All I can do is sleep, My skin turns smooth as I sleep, thin enough paper. I'm even more delicate than ever before. All I can do is force the dirty water down, drowning my misery with misery, hoping this isn't real. More restless sleep. I ignore the voices and invisible things that try to grasp at me. I get the feeling like even the peaceful, empty grassland wants me dead now. More restless sleep, more water, pure insanity. It does nothing to quell the withdrawal and depression. I take my rage out on a car, hoping for it to yield something to shield my eyes. The burning is too much. I drag the scraps of my rage, planned to be crafted later. More water. Maybe the grit will cleanse my soul. I set my eyes back on the tower. Wasted effort. Multi-tool with no wire cutters, and my strength is too feeble to carry me over the fence. My skin has turned yellow. Some more water should do the trick. A little stubby tail rapidly pops up in my sleep. Useless. My shoes shred as my toenails grow into talons. Barefoot it is. The suffering can't get much worse from here. More water. Good. It gives life. No sleep. But we must go on. Sometimes the most primitive method is the best. As I smash a window with a rock, I reap my spoils eagerly as I gorge on the candy. A grand view, now a depressing sight. I'm surprised I even have the strength to climb a ladder. Wasted effort on these useless items. I chugged down the water greedily. A mask from a t-shirt should keep the sun off most of my face. Seems I may be accepted by nature. I must keep this life-giving water as much as possible with my green skin. Water. Sleep. Water. Sleep. Repeat. My brain begins to want for something to cover my eyes. The sun is sinful. It evaporates all the water. Maybe there'll be something nearby I can use. Not like they're gonna need it anymore. Useless. The definition of insanity, repeating this nonsense. Some clarity of mind is forming through the sleep deprivation as most of the withdrawal symptoms subside. My skin is terrible again. Has nature forsaken me? Was the water I'm drinking a lie? Edible, but still pointless. The parasites might help if they eat away at my brain. Maybe I won't be as depressed. We must rest now. My voice is that of a snake, and my blood is cold. This water must be a lie. Maybe another source will do. Water that's clear as the last, filled with lies, but we must keep moving. We no longer crave the filthy chemical intake. Our eyes weep with nothing to cover them, and our feet weep with no wrappings to shield them. We must find protection for them. Traveled far. Hopefully it yields some results. Useless. More garbage. Even more garbage. Finally, perhaps we can shield our eyes. Failure, destroyed in an instant, but we must move on. Our water is dwindling fast. Redemption, perhaps this time. Another failure. This world rejects us. Death weavers, with their web of lies, we reject the world as it has rejected us. Even more useless garbage. Sustenance, even if it's less than palatable. We've traveled incredibly far. The glint of light, that of gold, sweeter than sweet. These red devils have been hoarding the nectar, but we must tread lightly and gather. It was a trap. I have been caught. And now I am released from this burden.